Cardiff 1999 is where the concept of poker celebrity was born. Our first series champion is still one of the biggest there is, and he's back tonight. Don't feed the fish, they bite. It's the fifth heat of party poker, late night poker. Ones to watch tonight include... He's still a handsome devil, it's Dave Elliott.
Don't you boys dare say I'm lucky. Should we read it out to you? I have to gamble.
We've got a late night poker favourite.
Sometimes you've got to gamble, boys.
Joe the Elegance Beavers.
Oh, God, if you're thinking I'm in trouble.
And a new star from last year's World Series of Poker.
Just need them for the... Don't scare me now.
Great Dane Rene Muritzen. Let's join our commentator, Simon Trumper.
So, thanks, Vicky. Welcome, everyone. Fascinating heat. Joining me in the commentary box tonight, Mr. Cool himself, Mark Goodwin.
Oh, hi, Simon. This looks exciting. Looking forward to watch the Devilfish. Well, listen to him, probably more than watch him.
And, of course, Joe there, folding. He's one of the Hendon mob. They were the first group of players ever to get a sponsorship deal. And poker, as we know it, has changed dramatically since the early series of late night poker. We now have sponsored events, and Party Poker is sponsoring this late night poker heat, adding $90,000 to the prize pool, and it's attracted some of the biggest players in the world.
150.
First time we've seen Parsons. Raises it up with King 6 of clubs. John Parsons, internet qualifier, lives in the Philippines. Professional poker player, plays online.
3 players.
Devilfish, 6-8 offsuit. Yorbeck, Jack 10. He's flopped open-ended straight draw. Elliott has completely missed, but comes out firing.
And that's exactly what you'd expect. He's going to play aggressive, and they really are going to have to know where they stand in a hand to be able to play against him.
Pass.
That's a nice raise there from Yorbeck. Raising on a semi-bluff.
Probably.
Like Elliott, he hasn't actually got a hand, but he's got a draw which could get there on the turn, and he gets Elliott to fold. He's from Stockholm, Sweden, Andreas Jorbeck. His business is in business development. Never played on late night poker, and in fact never played on TV before. Says his grandmother taught him when he was 5 years old.
Playing my first live tournament ever, so I don't know if TV matters that much. It's actually just a little bit tense being the first live tournament ever. So hopefully I'll get into it and settle into the game after a while.
In this series we're going to do what we could like to call a late night poker retro hand. This is just like the old days where we're just going to see all the action from one player's perspective. In this case it's going to be Devilfish. So there's Agnieszka Rylik, TV presenter from Poland. She's been receiving lessons from top US pro Mike Sexton, none other.
Raise. 150.
An old late night poker favourite, Liam Flood, raised it up.
You start singing before you looked or after you looked?
Pass.
I don't know. I can't sing.
Call.
Devilfish, he's on the button, calls for King 10 offsuit. Round to the big blind of Joe Beavers. 325 in the middle. It's 100 more to call. And he's decided to call.
It's correct to call from there. It's good value.
Yeah. So 3 to a flop.
3 players.
Queen 4 5. 2 spades. Beavers first to act.
Sort of range that you put someone on that calls on small blind is really bad cards usually. You know, something along the lines of 4 5, 3 6, 7 8.
Bet 300.
Liam Flood, he checked, and this has allowed Devilfish to try and nick this pot. He's raised, but he's been called by Joe Beavers, and Liam looks a bit surprised there.
Yeah, and that's a flat call into the original raiser as well. So you would have to guess that Joe's on some sort of hand. Most definitely, don't think he's making a move of any sort here. No. He's got something for sure.
Well, we know Devilfish has only got king high.
What you read it out to?
It's unlikely with a pre-flop raiser.
Can you?
that Joe's just calling here with a bottom pair, for example. He's more likely to have a straight or a flush draw, 6-7 suited, maybe.
Dave's just not going to know where he is now because he's got a nothing hand himself and he's been called.
Well, that queen, I'm sure that hasn't helped Joe's hand, but it might scare Devilfish.
Check.
Yeah, quick check there. Well, and a third queen on the river, so if Joe Beavers, if he had a small pair, he could have had a small pair, I suppose, pair of sixes, pair of sevens in that position.
Yeah, true, true.
He's made a full house here. Might put a value bet in.
Bet 800.
It's unbelievable. I know you got a 5 there, Joe. I was going to take this off you 1,000,000%, but queen makes it a bit tougher.
Oh, what have you got?
I got king eye. I was going to take it off in 1,000,000%. I know he's got a 5.
So let's see what Joe Beavers actually had.
Joe wouldn't play with a 5.
Oh, wow. Look at that. I think we were all a bit out there. I don't think there's anybody would have possibly put Joe Beavers on 2-3 of hearts, and he's totally outplayed the Devilfish.
Well, if you had better than a 4 or a 5 and you didn't raise on the flop, you played it bad. I don't know whichever way you want to say it. Well, I've had 2 5s, David. Straight draws and flush draws.
I think I've actually got the record for playing the most number of late night poker tables, equal with Dave Coldclough. Played all 6 series. I made 3 finals, one which I qualified through a semi-final, and 3rd is my best result. Let's hope I can go 1 or 2 better this time round.
So blinds 25.50. All players start with $5,000 in chips. The aim is to win the heat and make it through to the final. The runner-up, of course, will go through to the semi-final, and if they win that, they'll secure the 8th seat available in the final.
Raise to 175.
It doesn't.
Round to Liam Flood. 9-10 off suit, he folds.
Pass.
John Parsons folds. Back to Elliot. He's on the button. Best position. He's got a decent ace. Ace-9 suited. He'll call.
Someone they did once, remember?
J.S. Yorbuck folds in the small blinds. So just Joe Beavers left now.
Russ.
Looking at some potential fireworks here.
Oh, wow. Beavers has picked up a pair of kings. What a situation to be in. Pot's only 425.
Why is it?
Raise to 550.
Now, we both know that Elliot, on the button with ace-9 suited, was hoping to see a cheap flop. He's certainly not going to take any more interest in this.
Call.
Surely not.
He will.
Well, I'm surprised he's called with this hand. Once it's been called by Moritzen, the original raiser, he's got to know he's got the 3rd best hand. What's he hoping to hit?
Most enjoyable.
3 players.
Well, he's got more than a pair of kings now, Mark. He's flopped an absolute monster.
Oh,
But
wow.
Moritzen's got the nut flush draw.
There's going to be fireworks here for sure.
Bet 550.
Wow. Now, Rennie Moritzen could come over the top here. He's thinking about raising.
Well, this is the guy who came second in the Omaha 10,000. I did the commentary for that, actually, and he was playing against Patrick Antonius, Doyle Bronson, and so he's obviously an accomplished Omaha player.
Was he aggressive?
He was not aggressive, no. It was in the World Series last year, and he wasn't an aggressive player. He may well make the right move here and just flat call, pretty sure that he's already behind, hoping to hit the flush, yeah.
Well, you called it, Mark. That's exactly what he's done. He's just called.
That's the advantage of being an actual Omaha player, actually. You do understand the texture of flops a lot more than Hold'em players. It really does help. He knows he's definitely behind, but he knows he can definitely win.
2 players.
Well, now that's going to cook Moritzen's goose, because he now thinks he's got a monster. He's now got top pair with the nut flush draw. What he doesn't know is Joe Beavers is sitting there with a set of kings. Now, how is Joe going to play this turn?
If he puts him on any sort of draw, he has to bet.
Bet 2,025.
Wow. This is a very, very tough call. It's almost impossible to fold. And Moritzen, he's only got 3,600. Joe Beavers has made a very clever size bet there. He's trying to induce him to re-raise for all his chips.
You can tell by his body language, he actually